In part 1, we understood the words Adi, Adima, Adam, the beginning, the prime, the first, primitive, Dharma, the virtue, Sanātana, the firm, ancient, primeval. We also discussed about the Sanātana Dharma, the ancient personality, and other 3 major prophets, Abraham, Buddha, Christ. We mentioned that Yahweh Elohim, Jehovah, Al-Ilah are Vedic adjectives of the Sanātana, Vishnu, Shiva, Brahma. In this part 2, we reveal the mighty, praiseworthy Sanātana with the verses of the 4th chapter. In this first verse, the common act performed in the words Uvacha, Prokta, Praha and Bravit is utter or say. Their word origins highlight the hidden time and intention of the 3 souls, Bhagavan, Vivasvān, Manu. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha, Aham imam avyayam yogam vivasvate proktavan. We shall analyze the word etymology to perceive the single detailed translation plus interpretation. Prokta is pra-ukta, ukta from root vach, or the word uvach means spoken to, addressed, announced, declared, laid down as a rule orally. The prefix pra expresses the time beginning, commencement, before, forward, in advance, forth, departure, to set out, to go onwards, suggesting that such utterance by the Supreme at the beginning or commencement brings a motion from worst to best, inferior to ulterior. The U in Ukta or Uvach means to make a noise, roar, to cause to sound, animate, command, demand. U is the name of Shiva and of Brahma, and thus both Pra and U are connected to Sanātana, the ancient, beginning, Adi, the Adi Deva, Adam, the first God, Self, the Sanātana Dharma, the creator of heaven and earth. Pra and Aha form Praha, Vivasvān Manave Praha. Vivasvān being the only direct receiver of yoga from the Supreme, utters or expresses the recorded information, attributes and hands down to Manu at the beginning. Bravit means say, inform, to declare, publish, proclaim, promulgate, meaning to profess or pretend one's self by a name without any real title to it. Now the questions that arise are, pra in prokta and praha suggests the beginning. When exactly is this beginning? Why and how did the Supreme declare yoga to Vivasvān alone? And why did Vivasvān hand over by tradition like father to son to Manu alone? And why did Manu, while handing over to his son Ikshvaku, pretend to be the one he is not? What is the result of Manu's act? Ikshvaku from root ish, for ichhati, means one who longs for fulfilling his desires and strives to obtain anything from anyone. We shall know answers along the flow. Moving on, Vivasvat means the brilliant one, name of the sun, shining, possessing brightness, the wealth of virtue, dharma, prakashana, the manifestation of brilliance at the beginning. Vivasvān from Vivas, from root Vas, later Vedic root Ush, means to shine forth, that is shining in brilliance at dawn, the early morning, the daybreak. We see that Ahana from Aha means to cause to shine at dawn, the beginning, the commencement time. And the personification of dawn is Vivasvān, who shines forth, thus metaphorized with sun, who offers to bring the day, cuts off the night, makes self firm in Supreme's brilliance. The other meanings of Vas related to Vivasvat will be dealt in part 3. In the second verse, the Supreme addresses Arjuna as Parantapa, meaning one who shines upon, to be burnt and to burn, consume, destroy, and be conqueror of enemies, to rule, govern, being the sun. And says, Sa Mahata Kalena Yogaha Iha Nashtaha. Mahata from root Maha is connected to the beginning of Karmadhara, meaning the period of passionate, numerous deeds owing to Rajoguna that emerge the vice of lust, desire, greed, and attachment that bind the soul to increasing attachment to actions. And Tamoguna induces Bahuvritti, the numerous outlooks or opinions owing to darkness of ignorance. Thus, both leading to Mahat Tamas, the Mahat Kala, meaning the thick darkness. Kala from root 3 Kal means time, black, a fixed, right, proper time for departure, is the peak of thick darkness, the Kali. From root 3 Kal, time as to destroying all things by the Kalantaka, the Kala personified, the measure and indicator of the time of the world, is an epithet of Shiva, also of Rudra. Root 3 Kal means to accomplish, utter sound, to perceive, to go. The word Nashtaha means lost, disappeared, lost sight of, destroyed, ruined, from root Nash, meaning vain, to come to nothing. From the same root Nash is the word Nak, Nakta, meaning night, a time when the nakshatra, meaning the stars, come or ascend and guard the night, to endeavor, meaning try hard or strive to reach and obtain only at night. And thus, this sentence means iha, meaning here in this world of numerous deeds and numerous outlooks, many opinions, the time of Mahat Tamas, the thick darkness of night, the great yoga wanes, vanishes. Moving to the word Adya in the third verse, Prokta used for Vivasvān is now used by the Supreme for Arjuna, now being the beginning again. The Supreme says, I Prokta, meaning declare that Puratana Yoga to you today, Adya. The first meaning of the word Adya or Adman from root Ad is to eat. The English word eat itself is from Sanskrit Ad, devour, to destroy, fit or proper time to eat food. The yoga, obviously. Adya is a dya for dyu, means this day, today. Dyut from root dyu means advancing against, assaulting, from root to div, to shoot forth as a ray of light, being brilliant, manifested to enlighten, cause to understand. Root dyu in a dyu means sharpness. Dyu connected to 3 div is name of Agni, day, brightness, and Dyuan is the sun, an adjective of Vivasvān, Agni, the personified heaven. Dyaus from root 3 div is the dual Dyava Prithvi, mentioned in this Gita verse as Dyava Prithivyaha idam antaram, meaning heaven and earth, and this antaram, the interval called dawn, whose similes are sky, ether, paradise. As mentioned in this Gita verse, during this antaram, those who know this Agni, the Vivasvān, they Uttarayana, Udtarayana, meaning a time of transformation and moving from worst to best, darkness to light, tamoguna to satoguna, black to bright. Puratana from root pur, connected to root pri, means the former, precede, go before, go at the head, lead, in abundance, expanding so as to fill the soul. The Brahma with former praises is now worn out. From this root to pur is the word Purush, the Purush Rishabha, an address of Arjuna, most abundantly filled with yoga, is Purushottama Sadharmya, meaning made or perfected in the image of the Supreme. Let us summarize pictorially. The etymology of the words we analyzed unravels entire Kala, the world time of sun, moons, twin halves, day, night, a pair. Every pair, couple, is called Yuga in Sanskrit. A 24-hour Yuga cycle of twin halves, day-night, ends at the peak of night with dawn when the rising sun brings the new day, the new 24-hour Yuga cycle. This physical phenomena mimics the high Yuga, the twin world halves of the two highest personalities metaphorized with sun and moon. The Supreme arrives at dawn, invokes Arjuna to teach yoga. Arjuna imbibes 100% yoga, thus praised as Vivasvān, Agni, the Brahma, abundantly brilliant sun, is the ruler of the virtuous day, the Dharma, the period of nil malignity of vices in the soul. In the night, his son Manu, Krishna Chandra, Soma, the crescent moon, Brahma, the son of this Brahma, rules with his little light of yoga received from his father Vivasvān at dawn. At the beginning of this Mahat Kala, the night, Arjuna in his Dwapara, the copper age births, envisions the Supreme's Parampara, the tradition of dawn, and hands over envisioned knowledge of yoga to Moon. Moon passes on to Ikshvaku, the Rajoguna Kamechhadhari, meaning one who desires and longs for vice of lust, an adjective of Abraham. As Abraham received the knowledge of yoga from the moon at dawn, so begins his bodily births only during night, establishing his independent outlook, Yahuda. And so on follow the other outlooks of Buddha, Christ, Sannyasa, Muslim, Sikh, Arya Samaj, that are again divided within by many shining stars, with their own divided opinions, all pretending and promoting their outlook to be the ancient virtuous one, just like the moon pretended at dawn. Thus, as said in this most popular verse, at the peak of Adharma, the dark Kali of numerous clashing opinions, is the time when the Supreme arrives, giving his self-introduction to Arjuna alone, the eternal permanent Sanātana personality living throughout the cycle, who is now Kala, dark, void of ancient virtue, the Dharma, diminished of yoga. As mentioned in the etymology of the word Kala, a time as leading to the events, the causes of which are imperceptible to the mind of man, is the gist of this verse. And in line with the first verse of the 4th chapter, the gist of these two verses is that those who learn yoga from Vivasvān, Agni, the Brahma, go onwards to bright side, and those who learn yoga from the moon go back to his abode of degradation of soul. However, in this verse, the Supreme says, I am the light of Agni and Chandrama. Let's understand clearly why he says so and who he is through the etymology of the word yoga in part 3.